Welcome to Estill County, Kentucky, where we have lots of creepy looking houses like these.
Yay.
And we have a few haunted locations. These are the top 5 haunted locations in Estill County. So, first on our list is Fitchburg Furnace.
Yay!
It's another furnace because that's what Estill County had. They had furnaces.
That's how I lived life.
Fitchburg Furnace is really, really big, and it's a lot more impressive looking than Cottage Furnace, but, oddly enough, even for its time, it was out of date and old-fashioned. So, it gave people a lot of jobs, but it just wasn't around very long. So one of the biggest stories that I've heard is this man and this little girl who haunt Fitchburg Furnace and look like regular people, until they disappear. I've heard, they look like me and you until they go. So this man has been seen walking around the furnace looking like a tourist and stuff, except when he turns around he doesn't have a face, it's really shadowy. And there's a little girl who apparently plays around it all the time, and she disappears. Nobody knows who she is. She's always wearing the same clothes. There used to be the town of Fitchburg, which was built up around the furnace. It had stores and post office and stuff. And the only thing, you would not know that if you drove down there now. Devil's House.
Oh, I just got it.
Dun, dun, dun. The Devil's House. So when he was...
Hands come out of the ground.
When he was little, I took him to the Devil's House, as an after-school trip, because, that's what we do with our family. We go explore old crazy places. The Devil's House is purportedly the most haunted house in Estill County. Lots of stories about it. For a time, it was the place where, teenagers would go and hang out and dare each other to go in. Heard of invisible hands pushing people down the stairs. Parts of the house are really, really cold, and then other parts of the house are really hot, on the same day. Supposedly there were satanic rituals in there, and there's pentagrams and stuff on the walls. Ghostly figures walking around, footsteps, you can hear people laughing. We've been to the Devil's House. Let me tell you, it's a really nice house, beautiful farmhouse, out in the country. Painting it red did not help its reputation. There is a real story about the Devil's House too. There was the house, and across the road there was a cabin, and there were two brothers. One lived in one lived in the other, and they both died the same day from apparently drinking bad whiskey. So it does have this sort of tragic history with it. As far as the hauntings go and the paranormal activity, we don't know. When we went, Sam thought he saw a hand coming up out in the window.
It's called ground.
I'm sorry. Coming up out of the ground. Riverview Place is a very large building on Main Street in Irvin.
Riverview is the 4th one, and Hargett was 5th.
We can edit this and make it in the right order, So Riverview Place is our next haunted location. How about that?
Okay.
Riverview is the tallest building in downtown Irvin. It's located on Main Street. It's been several different things. For the longest time, it was a hotel, but it was also a doctor's office, and its last use was as an antiques vendor's mall. Unfortunately, it is closed now, which breaks my heart because
you love vendors malls.
Because I love vendors mall, and I love the people who owned it. They still have a store a few doors down, but is no longer in that location. So when it was a hotel, former staff talk about seeing ghostly figures in the hallway. One woman said that she saw somebody dressed as a soldier and that he tossed a coin at her.
Here, have a coin.
The man who lived there for a long time, when it was a doctor's office, said that he would hear things at night walking around. The last owners actually had surveillance cameras up, and I saw this myself. An orb was caught kind of darting around one of the rooms, and people would hear ghostly piano music, people walking around upstairs when nobody was up there. There were people who would come in to like shop, and they wouldn't go up to the top floor because they were so scared. Cottage Furnace was a furnace. Who knew? It's one of 2 furnaces in Estill County, and it is the one that gets the most paranormal activity. So, I bet you're wondering, why is Cottage Furnace haunted, right?
The cabbages.
The cabbages. No, there are no cabbages in Cottage Furnace. It does look like a Mayan ruin, though. Kind of hard to get to now. Probably hard to get to, like, when it was being used. But lots of weird things happened there. The biggest story is about a slave. His name was Ned, depending on who's telling the story. In my story, his name is Ned. And Ned had like a really mean owner. I know, it's terrible, but this is the story. Ned had a really mean owner. He escaped from him. Like, he got this job working at the furnace, and then his owner found out he was there and took off after him, and rather than go back to him, Ned threw himself into the chimney while, like, all that molten rocks and stuff, whatever.
We call it coal.
Coal's not in a furnace, no.
Oh.
That's not coal. Anyway, he was burnt alive. So supposedly he still haunts it. Isn't that a nice bedtime story?
I did not see that coming.
So he's dead. Poor Ned.
Right.
So that's one of the ghosts that supposedly haunts the area. People have talked about hearing the sounds of screaming, hearing the sounds of crying, even hearing like the furnace in action, like raring up to go, firing up to go. And sometimes it's been reported that you can see smoke still coming up out of it and smell like a burning scent when you're around it. It's open, sort of. I mean, you can go to it, but you can't drive down to it anymore. You have to park at the gate and then walk. And it's not so bad going down, kind of hard going up because it's uphill. So. Target is closed now, has been closed for a long time, was for sale for a long time, but that sign like disappeared. It's a really neat school sitting up on the hill. I'd like to see something done with it, but that's a different story, different YouTube video. So some of the former employees talk about how when it was open, that they would get there early and they would hear the sounds of kids running down the hallways, that doors would slam by themselves, that they'd hear people talking in classrooms, and they'd go in there and the classrooms would be empty. Since the building has been empty, some people who probably should not have been in there but were, and we're not going to judge.
We're judging you.
We're not judging you. Where's my there's my finger. We're not judging you.
Where's my finger at? Oh, there it is.
So people who have been in there since have talked about hearing the same thing, footsteps running up and down the hall, like children laughing, sometimes children crying, and seeing these ghostly figures dart in and out of the classrooms. If you would like to learn more about the haunted locations in Estill County, please feel free to check out my book called
Haunted Estill County.
I wonder how they came up with that name. And the second book, which is called More Tales from Haunted Estill County.
Yeah.
My website is RebeccaPHoward.net. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Where's my hand?